Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please get on there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen folks, Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a live radio show. We'll be talking Jets. We'll be talking NFL draft. We'll be talking all the things we got going on. Call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks talking about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets linebacker situation, all right? This NFL draft is coming up. I can see the New York Jets taking a linebacker, all right? And this is a position group that a lot of people are not talking about, but we could really utilize some help there, and we're going to get into it. Now, before I talk about some of the prospects, some of the guys coming out in the draft that I think the New York Jets can end up taking, I want to cover really quickly some of the guys that we have here, okay? First guy that I think that just pops off the page when you talk about New York Jets linebackers clearly is going to be CJ Mosley. Man, CJ Mosley had quite a season for us. 103 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. This was a guy that was coming off of an injury-plagued season, right, where he didn't really play much. I think the old, kind of thing that was going on with him that people would say is 2 games, 2 years, and there was big question marks about him coming into the season. Would he be able to perform? Will he be healthy? Let me tell you something. CJ came in and played to the wall for us. This was a guy that made play after play after play. He made a lot of goal line stands. He was running around, hitting people. I'm talking about this was a guy that was a true leader as well. Not just on the field, but also in that locker room as well. A big voice for the New York Jets. And he also talked about, especially coming into this offseason, that he was going to advocate to other players about coming in and helping the New York Jets continue to get better. So he was going to go out there and, pitch, hey, come be a New York Jets to a lot of these players that he has relationships with is huge as well. It's a guy that's well respected around the league. Now, the thing about CJ Mosley is he's getting a bit older. We're talking about a 30-year-old backer. But this dude is making a lot of money, man. He's making a lot of money, all right? Like, we're talking $17.5 million. 17.5. This guy's getting paid, okay? And you can thank Mike McCagnon for that. This was a guy that gave him this huge contract. Now, as it continues on, because he does have a couple years left on the deal, it escalates to $18.5 million. Now, again, he's getting older, and as time gets on, I don't think that Joe Douglas is going to want to pay him that type of money. You know what I'm saying? Especially, again, as he continues to get older. We were hoping that he would take a pay cut, coming into this offseason. There's a lot of talk about the New York Jets possibly moving on from him if he didn't make a pay cut. But nothing kind of came of those things. And he's still here, and it's looking like, hey, he's going to be making that cash. Now, I can see the New York Jets looking at this situation thinking, look, since CJ is a phenomenal, linebacker, he's still going out there, producing for us. But we cannot pay, one player, particularly an inside linebacker, that type of money. That's just insane. And again, thanks to Mike McCagnon, this was a dream come true for him. You know what I'm saying? So I can see the New York Jets grabbing a young linebacker in this draft to come in and allow them to move on from CJ Mosley when that time comes, okay? Because we're talking 17.5 this year, 18 in the future. It's like, bro, that's just way too much for an inside linebacker. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So when you talk about young players as well that are on the New York Jets currently in this linebacker position, there's a lot of question marks, okay? And it starts with Sherwood. Sherwood was a guy that we took in the draft, undersized guy, was brought in. And let me tell you something. He played 5 games and then tore his Achilles. So there's a question mark with him going forward is, okay, what exactly are we going to get out of him? Because we didn't see too much. And then what is he going to look like when he comes back from the injury? Hamza Nasruddin is in the same situation, though. The exact same situation. Played 12 games for us, and then he tore his ACL. Now, one of the things that I saw with both of these young players is, and again, they're young backers, young guys that are converted into linebackers especially, is that, they kind of struggled in coverage. That was one of the issues that we saw this year, too. We struggled dealing with running backs coming out of the backfield. We struggled with screens this year. Oh, my goodness gracious. We got ate up by screens, whether it be running backs or even when we played the Falcons, we saw tight end screens be utilized against us, and we were getting cooked. Pitts had a day against us, had a day. So we've got to find a way to get some young players in here that are going to give us that sideline to sideline speed and help us get better in coverage. And I think, again, it'll go a long way if these two young players continue, to progress as young linebackers here. And again, Sulla has a long history of taking, these guys that are safeties or undersized guys, converting them to backer, and then really getting them to play. So I think coaching is going to also help that along as well, with Sulla and his defensive staff being able to step in and really continue to progress these guys forward. The next guy and last guy I'm going to talk about that we currently have on this roster that made a big impact for us last year, Quentin Williams at this linebacker position. Whoa, let me tell you something. Quentin Williams and his production was really unexpected. It really was. He was a guy that was a late free agency signing. Joe Douglas grabbed him, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't really think he was going to give us anything. He came in and gave us 110 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. This guy was flying all over the place. I'm talking all over the place. He's also the brother of Quentin Williams as well, for those of you that may not know. And this dude was out there making plays. Now, one thing that we saw is that when Gerard Davis came back, because Gerard Davis is dealing with an injury, when he came back and, was able to play, we saw Quentin Williams kind of get pushed to the bench because Gerard Davis was out there. And that was kind of a bad move for the Jets and the coaching staff, because it did kind of hurt our linebacker production. But again, Gerard Davis has moved on. He signed with another team in free agency. So I expect Quentin Williams to get all the snaps this year. And he's going to go out there and really put some things together, because again, his production was kind of up and down because he wasn't getting many snaps. His snap count kind of dropped off when Gerard Davis, they were trying to figure out what to do with Gerard, even though Quentin Williams, again, eventually did get back out on the field and was, put in there to make plays. Now, again, Quentin Williams, this is a big contract year for him as well. If he plays extremely well this year, we could see him get some cash as well going forward and continue to be a New York Jet, hopefully. So we'll see what we get out of him, but he's a guy that really helped our linebacker position. So when you look at some of the young guys in the draft that can help us, man, there's some guys there. And the first guy to me that really pops off the page when you talk about this upcoming draft at linebacker is Nakobe Dean. Whoa. This dude is from Georgia. He is unbelievably athletic. You want to talk about a guy that's got sideline to sideline speed? Boy, does he have it. And that could help us immensely. This is a guy that has it all. I mean, he's ridiculous. He's completely ridiculous, athletically. I mean, he can do it all, man. He can also have an impact in coverage, too. There's a lot of talk about his coverage ability, how he's a guy that can help you out. Like, we've had issues covering tight ends. He's a guy that can definitely help us out in that position. So Nakobe Dean is definitely a guy that the New York Jets are probably going to look at. Another guy coming in this draft as well at linebacker that the New York Jets could end up snatching, Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd from Utah is a guy that, man, a lot of people are constantly talking about. This is a guy that's extremely versatile. You talk to a lot of scouts, and the first thing they say about him is they think he's a guy that really can easily fit in any scheme, and he's also a guy that can play any linebacker assignment. So that's going to be huge as well. This guy, again, that is wildly athletic as well, has good speed, can come down, really support in the run game. I think he had 111 tackles and 4 interceptions in his college career. This guy played well, man. He played really well last year. So we'll see if the Jets take him. Another guy, too, Chad Muma from Wyoming. This guy's 6'3", but he's more of a guy I can see New York Jets target in the second round. But he's a guy that can also come in and help us at linebacker as well. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about the New York Jets linebacker position? And is there a linebacker in this upcoming draft that you think the New York Jets could target or should target? Who is your top linebacker in this draft that the New York Jets should take? Because, again, this is a position that a lot of people are not talking about. So comment down below. I want to hear from you folks. You folks have a good one. Peace.